Hi, we are so excited to be hosting our first annual Read to Learn and Learn to Change initiative, which we ran through Facebook, and we are recording it via Zoom and had sent out a link to people through there because unfortunately it wasn't working through Facebook. So at least we'll have this recording for people to be able to view the event, and we will be announcing the winners at the end. So I would like to begin by giving a personal land acknowledgement. My name is Janice DeRose, she, her, and I would like to begin our time together today by acknowledging that my ancestors were settlers of British, Irish, German, and French descent to Turtle Island, also known as Canada, and therefore I feel it necessary to educate myself about this land in which I live and work, land which Indigenous peoples have been the stewards of long before my ancestors arrived. The land on which I currently reside is in Thorold, Ontario, Canada, and is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Ojibwe Chippewa peoples, many of whom continue to work and live here today. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the land protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. The principles of these agreements were reaffirmed in 1764 with the Crown through the Covenant Chain of Friendship and the Treaty of Niagara. Canada was built on these nation-to-nation agreements, and we must recognize that a mutually respectful relationship between these nations is necessary for reconciliation to happen. Today, this gathering place is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples, and acknowledging reminds us that our great standard of living is directly related to the resources and friendship of Indigenous peoples. It is also an important reminder that colonization has resulted in the loss of land, resources, and culture, as well as life within many Indigenous communities. We must recognize and thank Indigenous peoples for their stewardship of the lands on which we live, to also act as stewards of this land, protecting it and caring for it the way it protects and cares for us, and to advocate for First Nations reserve lands to be just as cared for by Canada as the land settlers inhabit. Thus, we must be committed to reconciliation efforts through continuing to educate ourselves about Indigenous issues, advocating for change, and finding ways to actively involve ourselves in the pursuit of becoming better ancestors. So thank you so much, everybody, for viewing this video. We will be posting it for you. And we are so excited to be recognizing some of the important authors who have made contributions to our Chapters for Change effort. We've had many books that we've posted since we've started Chapters for Change, and today we'd really like to highlight some of those books with authors that we've interviewed and been able to amplify those voices and those messages through their voices and the works that they've contributed. So we're going to start with introducing ourselves briefly. So my name is Janice DeRoche. As I said, my pronouns are she, her. And Jen?
And my name is Jennifer Shelswell. My pronouns are also she, her, and we're the co-founders of Chapters for Change.
And the first book that I would like to address is by author Ariel Henley. I'll just hold it up so that everybody can see it there. A Face for Picasso. So to honor World Mental Health Day, which falls each year on October 10th, we had the pleasure of interviewing Ariel Henley on October 22nd, 2021, about her memoir, A Face for Picasso. Ariel is an author and activist who advocates for facial equality and the promotion of mainstream inclusion for individuals with physical differences. In her memoir here, Ariel exposes the impacts of society's obsession with the idea of beauty and the unrealistic expectations it puts on individuals to try to reach the golden ratio. Her personal story of living with Crouzon syndrome with her twin sister Zan shines a light on the harmfulness of these narrow-minded ideas of beauty. helping us to recognize that beauty comes in all shapes, sizes, and faces. This book truly advocates for change. This book also teaches us to lift each other up as we break down the barriers of discrimination. And I would argue that this is a must read for parents, educators, and young readers alike. And we want to thank Ariel so much for kicking off our author interview series by joining us to talk to us about this important book with such an important message. So thank you so much to Ariel.
Yes, thank you so much, Ariel. And the next book that we featured with an author interview is Jeannie Gainesburg's book, The Savvy Ally, A Guide for Becoming a Skilled LGBTQ+ Advocate. Jeannie is an author, educational trainer, consultant who advocates for LGBTQ+ inclusion and effective allyship. Her book is divided into 4 parts: Becoming Knowledgeable Allies, Building Skills for Having Respectful Conversations, Taking Action to Create More Inclusive Spaces, and Allying Responsibility. Through our partnership with the District School Board of Niagara, we have offered several learning circles to faculty, staff, and educators within the DSBN around this amazing book, which has already promoted steps towards actionable change taking place within Niagara schools. We're also in talks with Georgian College with regards to promoting these learning circles with faculty, staff, admin, and students. Thank you so much, Jeannie, for promoting the importance of advocacy for the 2S LGBTQAI+ community and the importance of creating safe spaces for all. Thank you, Jeannie.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeannie. And the next book that we would like to share with you was our 3rd author interview was with Lisa DeNicolitz. And in recognition of Human Rights Day on December 10th, we had the pleasure of interviewing Lisa on December 8th, 2021, about her most recently released book, The Rage Room. Lisa is an award-winning author and podcast host. In her book, which Lisa calls a speculative fiction, we find the problems of our current world magnified to the point of making it an almost unrecognizable distant memory of the past. The world of 2055 is filled with deeply disturbed people with minimal regard for the welfare of others or the welfare of the planet. We get a glimpse into the future that just might be our own if we choose not to begin to make positive changes now. A plastic world of ever-increasing consumerism, destruction of nature and art, twisted religion and abuse, obsession with looks, all filled with rage, which is the driving force behind it all. Prescribed visits to rage rooms act as quick fixes for the anger, boredom, and discontent that plagues the world, while hiding disturbing governmental motives at the root of it all. And thank you so much to Lisa for joining us to discuss The Rage Room and discuss many of the important social justice topics that are within this book.
Thank you, Lisa. The next author interview and book that we've focused on here in honor of International Day of Education on January 24th, we had the pleasure of interviewing Emily Ladeau on January 21st, 2022, about her new book, Demystifying Disability, What to Know, What to Say, and How to Be an Ally. Emily is a disability rights activist and author. The book serves as a friendly, practical, and intersectional handbook on the importance of understanding disability as part of the human experience and how we can better use our actions and voices to advocate for and support the disability community as disabled and non-disabled people alike. The book focuses on topics such as naming disability and how to talk about it, recognizing disability as a part of a whole person, recognizing and avoiding ableism, practicing good disability etiquette, identifying and speaking up about disability stereotypes in the media, and advocating for accessibility to ensure it becomes a standard practice everywhere. This is an essential guide for everyone who wants to be an advocate for positive change. Thank you so much, Emily, for sharing this practical and important guide for the advocacy and to support the disability community. So thank you, Emily.
Thank you so much, Emily. And the next set of books that I wanted to highlight today were by author Sharon G. Flake. The first in this set of sister novels is The Skin I'm In. And the book that we highlighted in recognition of Human Trafficking Prevention Month was this book by Sharon G. Flake, The Life I'm In. So again, it's the sister novel. This one comes first, and then this one comes second. And they were actually written, I believe it was about 10 years apart. And the reason why Sharon ended up writing this is because so many of her fans were longing to know what happened to Shar, one of the characters from the first book, and really advocated for her to write the second book. And I'm so glad that she did. So again, in recognition of Human Trafficking Prevention Month, which is in January, we had the pleasure of interviewing Sharon G. Flake on January 22nd, 2022, about her new book, The Life I'm In. Sharon is an award-winning author who is dedicated to creating literature which young Black readers can see themselves in. In The Skin I'm In, we see into the life of Malika Madison, a 7th grader who is ridiculed and teased by Shar and others because of her dark skin. So again, that was in this book right here. Many readers were left at the end of that first book wondering again what happened to Shar. And really anyone who has watched a friend, relative, or even acquaintance suffer through life circumstances which has changed them, leaving them feeling broken and angry in the world, made us really want to know what happened to Shar. So this long anticipated book follows Charlize Jones, also known as Shar, as she exposes readers to those life conditions which cause young people to act out and bully others. The book also exposes readers to the important topic of human trafficking, drawing young and adult readers alike to the need for more awareness around this devastating issue and the ways we can open dialogues and advocate for an end to trafficking. Thank you to Sharon for this necessary addition to young readers' literature. And as I said, again, adults alike should be reading this and getting their eyes opened to the harms of human trafficking in order to move toward taking steps to advocate for the end of human trafficking. So thank you so much to Sharon for meeting with us and discussing this book.
Yes, thank you so much, Sharon. And then we had the pleasure of celebrating International Mother Language Day with Anton Troyer on February 21st, 2022, about his new book, The Cultural Toolbox, Traditional Ojibwe Living in the Modern World. Anton is an author and professor of Ojibwe at Bemidji State University. He is a dedicated advocate for Indigenous language, and centers the importance around family and community within one's life and connecting with the spiritual, natural, and human beings around us. We will also be featuring Anton's other book here, Everything You Wanted to Know About Indians But Were Afraid to Ask. Sorry, I'm hoping that's in the thing there. And thank you so much, Anton, for sharing your lived experience through your books in order to promote Indigenous knowledge sharing, to work towards understanding, truth, and reconciliation. So thank you so much, Anton.
Thank you so much, Anton. And the next book that I would like to feature is by Kathy Marie Buchanan. And we had the pleasure of interviewing Kathy on March 8th, International Women's Day, about this book. Kathy is a New York Times bestselling author, and like both of her previous novels, this story is brought to life through vivid imagery and attention to historical detail. So Kathy always does a lot of research that goes into each of her books, and that was not lacking in this book. So readers are transported in this book to an ancient village, which will soon be forever changed due to the intimate Roman influence. The book follows the lives of Devout as she is finding her place in the world, and then also of her daughter, which is set 17 years later, her daughter Hobble. And regardless of Hobble's physical disability, she is the quickest in the community, and she brings the gift of seeing the future. This story speaks to the trauma of colonization while focusing on the importance of beliefs, practices, family, and community. And we want to say a huge thank you to Kathy for sharing this book with us and discussing it with us, and also focusing on so many of those important issues. Once again, it touched on colonization and the impacts of that, and also about disability awareness. So thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy. Then we dove into these amazing graphic stories by Tasha Spilleth. So we had the amazing opportunity on April 3rd to interview Tasha in honor of International Children's Book Day, which happens on April 2nd. Tasha shared with us about her graphic novel series, Surviving the City, and discussed the importance of integrating education around Indigenous issues within our schools. Tasha is an author, speaker, and creator. This book series focuses on the ever-present struggles that Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit people face. These graphic novels should be a staple in all schools and bring awareness to the harms of colonialism, racism, and misogyny, and the role they play in the devastating number of murdered and missing Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit people. Education is essential for change to happen. Thank you, Tasha, for bringing awareness and education around the importance of the impacts of colonialism and the need to dismantle systems of oppression in order to reach truth and reconciliation. So thank you so much, Tasha.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tasha. And we will also be featuring Tasha's book, I Sang You Down from the Stars, and that will be during year 2 of our featured books. And next month, we are going to have the pleasure of interviewing author and activist Jessica Victoria about her book, From Why to Fly. So we're featuring this book in honor of International Day of Living Together in Peace, which is on May 16th. And Jessica Victoria Hendricks shares deeply about her own personal experiences within this book and provides advice around mental health, disability, and LGBTQ plus identity. This book serves as a support tool for those experiencing similar life situations to those Jessica outlines in her book, as well as an educational tool for loved ones to encourage understanding and acceptance. One of my favorite quotes from this book I pulled out from pages 60 to 61, where Jessica says, "My hope is that I reach more and more people in the future. I really hope that this book helps me to expand my reach. It's about helping others, as many people as I can." And I just wanted to highlight too that Jessica is the founder of Stay Strong Collective. And the Stay Strong Collective is located at 50 Niagara Street in St. Catharines, Ontario. And the collective is really an inclusive space where people can come together, especially those within the BIPOC community, the LGBTQ plus community, and allies, in order to take part in activities together there. And one of the activities that took place yesterday, I'm just going to grab it here, was their first art night. And we got together and made these beautiful mugs. This one I made, and I chose the inspirational phrase, "You're awesome," which it kind of ties in to the Savvy Ally, which is the learning circles that we've been offering through the District School Board of Niagara, where doing, work and allyship can be tough at times. But we need to remind ourselves that, everyone is awesome for putting in the work. to advocate for change. And my son attended this event with me, my 11-year-old son, and this was the mug that one of the mugs he created. And he actually had the same phrase, "You're awesome," but it didn't stick to the mug properly. So then he had "Your son" that he created, but it actually is "You are son." And he said, and when I told him, it says "You are son." And he said, "I'm going to keep it like that because it's even funnier." So yes, a great events that take place within the Stay Strong Collective for anybody who wants to take part in that. And I just wanted to share one other book that Jessica has here, which we will also be featuring during year 2 of Chapters for Change, is "So I Said to My Anxiety." And it has some tips throughout the book, how to deal with anxiety, and really allowing people who suffer from anxiety disorder to know that they're not alone. Like I personally was diagnosed with anxiety disorder back when I was 16. And I remember times before I was even diagnosed where I had no idea what was happening. I literally felt like I was losing my mind, and there wasn't anything that I knew of available to really educate me, to let me know that I wasn't alone. And this is such an excellent book for young and older readers alike to be able to connect. And even if you don't have anxiety disorder and just suffer from, regular times in your life where you might feel anxious, this is such a great book. So anyway, I wanted to show that too, because it will be coming up as well during year 2 of Chapters for Change. So we're going to be doing our draw. I'm just gonna, so this is the draw for, we're gonna do 2 different draws. Maybe I should show the prize first.
And Janice, when you're done that, if you could just type the full name of the book in the chat after, that would be wonderful.
Oh, sure. Or Gnal, I can even send it to you after. I'll send you the website where it can be purchased. All right, so for the runner-up, the prize here will be a copy of Me and White Supremacy Young Readers Edition. You'll also see there's some tea that you can drink while, enjoying the book and doing the work through the book, and then a bookmark. Here, I'll hold the bookmark. I have other ones. Oh, where have I put them now? I have too much stuff on my desk. But there's also a bookmark added in there as well. We'll just see if we can kind of see it there. A Chapters for Change limited edition bookmark for year 1. All right, so I'm going to draw the name for the runner-up. Okay, so our winner for the runner-up is Sharon Ethier. And she recommended, and we'll post these books to the website too, with the runner-up and the winner and the book recommendations. She recommended the book Read This to Get Smarter for adults and Front Desk for children. So we'll put that on the website. And then let me get the winner. Sorry, I have everything on my chair over here. All right, so the winner will be receiving a copy of Rebound by Perry King, and he is a Canadian author, grew up in Toronto area. And I really wanted to highlight this book because my sons are getting back into sports very soon after being out of sports for quite a while with the pandemic. My 11-year-old son will be having his first basketball practice starting this coming week. And this book really touches on the importance of sports for community. And then you can see in here too, there are a couple of teas, a bookmark, chocolate, some coffee. So some really great stuff that you can enjoy as you're reading. All right, so now I'm going to draw for the winner for that kit. Okay, and the winner for that one is Leslie. And the book recommendations were, sorry, just a second here. White Tears, Brown Scars, How White Feminism Betrays Women of Color. And there was a second book recommendation here, Black, Brown, Bruised, How Racialized STEM Education Stifles Innovation. So thank you to everybody who contributed to our Read to Learn and Learn to Change initiative. Everybody will be receiving, if you have posted book recommendations, I'll get your information too, and everybody will be receiving a bookmark for taking part. And congratulations to our winners. All right, so I just wanted to again thank everyone for taking part, and please utilize the website. We're constantly adding new things to the website. We will be having more author interviews coming up in year 2, and we will be taking a bit of a break over the summer months from posting anything. So June, July, and August, we won't be featuring specific books on the site, but we might still be adding some things. And then it'll start up again in September, where we will be featuring a book for adult readers and a book for young readers. So is there anything you wanted to say to wrap up at all, Jen?
Just to encourage those that are interested in promoting folks from your community that are community change makers that we can feature on the site. We're always looking for information around that. So visit our website, chaptersforchange.com. Again, like Jana said, check out our resources, author interviews, and book recommendations, and looking forward to connecting.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.